Previously on Illusion.
King's Dominion opened in May 1975, the same month and year as another park in the same state that I'll talk about in the future.
Stay tuned next time, maybe, for a look at another park in Virginia that opened in May 1975.
And if Montezuma ends up staying, it will be tied with Busch Gardens Williamsburg for more slime coasters at one park with 4.
And now, 2019. You've waited over a quarter of a year for my video about Busch Gardens Williamsburg, and now you get to see it. But first, a new episode of Zach Talks Media.
Hello, I'm Zach, and today I'm going to talk about some media. This here is one of my favorite video games. It's Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. This is the Xbox version, and one of the very few games I've actually completed 100%. Ooh, this is a neat one. This is Thomas and Friends, Thomas Meets the Queen. This was only released on VHS. It never came out on DVD, which is why I wanted it. Here's Prince of Persia on Xbox 360. The only reason that I got this is because I asked for a Prince of Persia game, but I actually wanted Santa Time. So I recently got this DVD of Franklin, and you won't believe it, it took me days to watch this, and it only has 4 11-minute episodes. This is Mr. Wizard's World. I probably wouldn't have gotten it if I hadn't seen Paparina's video on it as part of his Knick-Knack series. If you're wondering, the highest altitude I ever collected a DVD or something similar at was over 14,000 feet when I collected this DVD at the peak of Pikes Peak in Colorado. Daytona! This here is the PlayStation version of Elmo's Number Journey. And speaking of Elmo, I think it's about time we actually talk about the thing you wanted to click the video for.
In 2004, I moved to southeastern Virginia, blah blah blah, you likely saw the opening to my King's Dominion video. However, the then Paramount Park wasn't the Virginia park I went to first, as that honor belongs to Busch Gardens Williamsburg, which I went to for the first time back in summer 2005. It's the first of 2 Anheuser-Busch, SeaWorld, United, whatever parks I've been to, the other being SeaWorld San Diego. Now this is the part of the video where I would tell you about the original trips from the mid-2000s, but I have not much memory of those trips, so I'll just mention them as I talk about the 2019 trip, other than this tangent.
One of the things we didn't do was the 3D short film The Haunted Lighthouse at the Globe Theater, which meant that we had to wait until 2009 to see a 3D short film with Weird Al in it. He's like my favorite musician. We also didn't do the now closed Big Bad Wolf or Corkscrew Hill, but I'll talk about their replacements later in the video. Also, we did the Roman Rapids in the 2000s, but not 2019.
When Busch Gardens and King's Dominion both opened in May 1975, attendance was based on region, so people from Norfolk and Virginia Beach mainly went to Busch Gardens, while those from Arlington and DC went to King's Dominion. Then, everything changed in 1978 when Busch Gardens added the Loch Ness Monster, and as a result, both parks began adding attractions to entice people from around the state to visit. I was preparing to graduate from high school in 2019, and my parents decided to reward me early with a trip to a park I hadn't been to in 13 years. They also used the trip to encourage me to finish a homework assignment I had previously slacked on. We started going south where we went near another park I already talked about, and soon, we were there.
So we are currently about 2 to 3 miles away from King's Dominion, and I'm probably going to look away for the sign because wrong park.
Dang, are you polishing your trophies again?
Sorry, King's Dominion, I'm rather go to Busch Gardens. I just went to King's Dominion just a few months ago. The only thing that's changed is that they got rid of Volcano. Bye-bye. Let's go to a more beautiful theme park.
El Toro Fuerte never removes his mask.
Apollo Chariot! Ah! Apollo Chariot! Apollo Chariot! That must happen, guys! Griffin!
Busch Gardens Williamsburg, we're here. Apollo's Chariot's the most elite hyper in the entire world. You can fight me. Okay, I would like to say some points about Apollo's Chariot. While I have not ridden it or any other B&M hyper, I would like to say that it looks nice with the trees and areas. I think I'm a clone now. There's always 2 of me just hanging around. Okay, it's an echo coaster of Superman.
If any song could be used to describe Tempesto, it would be Superman by Goldfinger, as Tempesto was pretending to be a Superman as it's supposedly an inferior clone of Superman Ultimate Flight at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, which replaced what was once known as Tony Hawk's Big Spin, and Superman is one of the top songs from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1. And to top it all off, exactly 1 year after our visit, I got the Dreamcast version of that game. I rode a few rides in the mid-2000s, including the boat ride back when it was in Land of the Dragons and had a drop. No coasters though, as they only had the big ones, and I was probably not tall enough for even Big Bad Wolf.
This was in the park's 25-year gap between kiddie coasters.
And when I visited in 2019, I rode a grand total of...
Nothing! Absolutely nothing! Stupid! I'm so stupid!
Okay, I did ride the Sky Ride, the train, and the parking lot tram, but besides that, nothing. No flat rides, no coasters. One cool thing about the park is that they have wolves. We were informed that the day we were at the park, May 4th, was in fact their birthdays.
And it wasn't the last time I celebrated a wolf's birthday.
I began to have an interest in wolves at the time, and it led me to making my fursona Jacob half wolf and half otter.
I like otters too.
I shot a lot of footage of the wolves, so I won't show all of them.
It is Kaya and Bayo's 7th birthday on May the 4th. May the 4th be with you all. Makes it really easy to remember. Their birthday presents are what we call EEDs, or environmental enrichment devices. Just like people, as they get older, they get grayer with age. And by age 3, they just look gray. My cohorts are about to bring down their EEDs, or their birthday presents, their environmental enrichment devices. An EED is pretty self-explanatory. It's anything that makes the animal's environment more enriching. And it will often prompt behavior similar to what they would exhibit out in their natural habitat. Wolves really love to shred stuff, so their favorite EEDs are things like cardboard, paper, things that they can rip up. And it looks like the presents have arrived, but it is their birthday, you guys, so I think we should sing them happy birthday before they get their presents. It only seems appropriate, right? And in they go! Now, believe it or not, wolves are actually very shy by nature, so they may stop and check it out for a second, but now you can see Bayo has drove in and he is pretty excited about it. Now, they are facing off a little bit. You may have saw Bayo kind of growl at Kaya. These guys are both alphas. It's one male and one female, and every pack that has a male and female is going to have an alpha of both. For any of you guys who just walked up, we have Kaya and Bayo in the valley right now, and they are celebrating their 7th birthday. We just tossed them some fun EEDs. That's a great question. She asked me what their personalities are like and how they are with the trainers. Our relationship with them is definitely not like a domestic dog. They are very much wild animals at heart.
One of the park's non-coaster attractions is a motion simulator. First was Questor, which also appeared in Tampa, which barely any footage exists of, mainly a commercial, partial POV, and news reports from WVEC featuring the late Bob Saget. Then it became King Arthur's Challenge, which even less footage exists of, and in 2001 became Corkscrew Hill when Hastings became Ireland, but closed in 2009, the same year as Big Bad Wolf, but was replaced sooner by a soaring over California ripoff called Europe in the Air. In 2018, it reopened as Battle for Ire, now with
virtual reality,
allowing you to get a 360 view. Unfortunately, it only lasted for a few years, but was probably open when I visited. I didn't ride it.
One missed opportunity was for Addie and Abby to have a debate to see who is the best fairy in the park.
Can you count me in too?
No, Jakari, you weren't created yet. Oh, that's Jakari. He's a fairy fox, another one of my furry characters.
As a kid, the thing I feared most of the park was the Curse of Dark Castle, not to be confused with the 1986 Smack game Dark Castle. The advertising is what really scared me, specifically the creepy faces or something, but nowadays the scariest thing about the ride are all the bad puns.
it's time to heat things up.
Though it was really unique for a regional park and helped it stand out, that and Corkscrew Hill, and now it's gone, and replaced with a motor coaster. But hey, now they have the most launch coasters at a single park. Take that, King's Dominion! For some reason, we spent a decent amount of time at Land of Dragons kids area. Hey, dragons can be cool.
Ooh, this thing's about to tip down. Man, my life is happening very quickly. But I'm not here for the Land of Dragons. I'm here for another reason. I think that some way, somehow, that's what being friends is about. Do 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 do. I knew we spent a bit too much time in the kids area. I think I spent a bit too much time in Land of Dragons.
In 2009, Sesame Street came to Williamsburg with the Sesame Street Forest of Fun, which, unlike Tampa, did not replace Land of the Dragon. We only spent a small amount of time there, but did get near Ernie, whose song, "I Don't Want to Live on the Moon," makes me emotional.
It's a shame he didn't celebrate Star Wars Day by having Grover, who sounds the most like Yoda since both have been played by Frank Oz.
It's also a shame we didn't get Deja Vu from SeaWorld with Elmo and Abby, the latter of which did not inspire Jakari. Just like at Michigan's Adventure, we rode the train and did 1 1/3 laps. Unfortunately, we had to wait for the train to start as there was some problem happening, and for some reason, they played music for the Disney movie Dinosaur.
The score for the Disney movie Dinosaur.
I have the movie on VHS, but the cover scares me, just the way Aldar stares at the camera, so I have the cover inside out on my shelf.
What do people think about the movie?
The cinematic equivalent of watching paint dry. This movie is about dinosaurs, that's honestly it. The only thing you learn is that you hate dinosaurs.
Oh. A lot of time was spent in the park filming coasters like Apollo's Chariot.
Wah, wah, Apollo's Chariot, it's testing. Ah! Ah!
Positions whose first.
Large one.
Can't wait to see what his reaction will be once they get the text. What his text will say. I should tell my friends on the Busch Gardens.
Griffin. Verbolten. Alpengeist.
Boopod B&M in 1977. Swiss.
Oh, here we go.
Ah! It's a
That was awesome.
It's dangerous.
No idea.
Premier.
Loch Ness Monster before the retrack.
Here we go.
Tempesto. And Grover's Alpine Express.
I didn't get any footage of Invader running, only this shot of the track from the train. I'm not gonna play audio because it's political.
All I have to say about Invader is that it's
A big Here it is, the Busch Gardens! Totally worth a 2-hour drive from DC. Well, that was fun. Let's go home now.
I had to make that reference.
While on the Sky Ride, we split up so that we could fit, and on the other one, my dad told the group about an incident that happened at Six Flags St. Louis on a similar ride.
Ready It's time for the Andy Griffin Show. Hey Lois, I'm dropping at 90 degrees down, Lois.
And on the train, we went near the former Drachenfire plot of land.
And they did, but then they closed it. Drachenfire. It isn't that. In fact, I'm pretty sure that might be the very station that Drachenfire used. Drachenfire opened in 1992, and it closed in 1998, and was dismantled in 2002. It was a rough ride, and it wasn't that good.
At the gift shop, I got a wolf plushie. I have a thing for collecting plushies at locations like theme parks. After a while, we left the park so that we could watch the new SMG4 video, as it was a turning point of the anime arc, and after that we had Hardee's, thus ending the day at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. A decent, but lackluster, day of basically riding nothing. Fortunately, at Michigan's Adventure, we made up for it by actually riding rides.
Next time on Illusion.